Here's a quick rundown of today's top stories, Tuesday, February 4th. Chinese ships exit Pangasinan and return to Guangdong, according to Philippine Coast Guard. The two China Coast Guard ships monitored by the Philippine Coast Guard off the coast of Pangasinan over the weekend have exited the country's waters on Monday, February 3rd. According to Commodore J. Tariella, PCG spokesperson for West Philippine Sea, the CCG ships with bow numbers 3301 and 3104 were shadowed by PCG vessel BRP Cabra until they made their way out of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Tariella said, "Throughout this operation, the Chinese vessels were radio challenged, highlighting their absence of legal authority to patrol the area as stipulated by the Philippine Maritime Zones Act, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and the 2016 Arbitral Award." China ups the ante as 3 Chinese warships enter the West Philippine Sea. 3 Chinese warships have been spotted in the West Philippine Sea by the Armed Forces of the Philippines. It was bared on Monday night, February 3rd, as China took its assertion of its claims in the South China Sea a notch higher. The Western Mindanao Command said it was closely monitoring and tracking the movement of 3 People's Liberation Army Navy vessels that entered the country's territorial waters on February 2nd. The West MINCOM identified the Chinese warships as a Renhai-class cruiser-guided missile, a Jiangkai-class frigate 2, and a Type 903 Fuchi-class replenishment oiler, which navigated through Mindoro Strait towards Sulu Sea. President Marcos names orthopedic surgeon Edwin Mercado as the new PhilHealth chief. President Marcos has appointed United States-trained orthopedic surgeon Dr. Edwin Mercado as the new president and chief executive officer of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Mercado took his oath of office before Marcos at the Malacañang Palace on Tuesday, February 4th. He replaced Emmanuel Ledesma Jr. in the government-owned and controlled corporation that provides health insurance to all Filipinos under the National Health Insurance Program. President Marcos and Vice President Duterte's trust ratings decline in January 2025, according to a social weather station survey. A social weather station survey commissioned on Monday, February 3rd, revealed that the trust ratings of the country's top-ranking officials declined in January. According to a survey commissioned by Stratbase and conducted from January 17th to 20th, SWS noted that the trust ratings of President Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte saw a decline, with the President and the VP garnering 50% and 49% trust ratings, respectively. Vice President Sara gets first dibs in Comelec's election dry run. With the May midterm elections getting nearer, Vice President Sara Duterte and Office of the Vice President officials got the chance to be the first to try the vote-counting machines of the Commission on Elections. In a Facebook post, the OVP said that the poll body's spokesman, Director John Rex Laudienko, visited the agency to give a briefing on the election process during the agency's flag-raising ceremony on Monday, February 3rd. The Department of Agriculture cuts the imported rice SRP to 55 pesos and eyes a further reduction to below 50 pesos. The Department of Agriculture will reduce the maximum suggested retail price of imported rice from 58 pesos to 55 pesos, effective on Wednesday, February 5th. The price reduction is part of the DA's ongoing efforts to stabilize rice prices and alleviate inflationary pressures on basic commodities. The initial MSRP for imported rice was implemented in January 20 to ensure that rice remains affordable for consumers while also supporting the profitability of the rice industry. At least 19 were killed, mostly women, in a car bomb explosion in northern Syria. A car bomb exploded on the outskirts of a northern Syrian city on Monday, killing at least 19 people, all but one of them women, and leaving more than a dozen wounded, hospital workers said. The car detonated next to a vehicle carrying mostly female agricultural workers on the outskirts of the city of Manbij. The dead included 18 women and 1 man. A nurse at the hospital, Mohammed Ahmad, told the Associated Press. According to the local Syrian civil defense, another 15 women were wounded, some of them in critical condition. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao joins Netflix's Physical Asia show. Boxing legend and former Philippine Senator Manny Pacquiao has joined Netflix's show Physical Asia, premiering in the fourth quarter of the year. Physical 100, Netflix's hit Korean survival reality competition show that dominated its global top 10 TV series rankings for 2 years in a row, will be back as Physical Asia. In a first for the franchise, Pacquiao joins Physical Asia as the representative from the Philippines. Pacquiao, revered worldwide as the only boxer in history to acquire titles in 8 weight divisions, brings his formidable talent and indomitable spirit to this team-based clash of champions. His participation signals the show's expanded ambition, a fierce face-off among Asia's finest, with national pride on the line. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin Daily Rundown.